Hello everyone, this is Ruli01 and welcome to part 3 of What If Deku was Point Man from F.E.A.R. Last time, Deku was adopted by Hisashi and Inko Midoriya, and he started living a normal life. But he still suffers from what Armor Camp did to him, so it's a little bit hard to adjust. So we come back to the story. 2 years have passed. Izuku is now 12 years old. He's gotten used to living in the Midoriya household. He still gets his nightmare visions, and over the course of time, they've gotten stronger. Okay. He still gets nightmares and visions, and they've gotten stronger over the years. Izuku still doesn't talk much. He can speak, but prefers using his telepathy. Inko and Sashi think it's time for Izuku to attend normal school with the other kids. They talk it over with Izuku, and he's nervous about it, but agrees, not wanting to disappoint his parents. Izuku gets enrolled in the same middle school as in canon. On the first day of school, Izuku was standing in front of class as he was introduced by the teacher. The class was confused as why Izuku didn't talk. The teacher explained that Izuku can speak, but prefers using his telepathy. The class was surprised that the new student had a telepathy quirk. A certain blonde scoffed and made his present notes. Telepathy? What a lame quirk. Nothing compared to me. Izuku made sure to keep a mental note about this guy. Izuku walked to his seat as Bakugo tries to trip him, but Izuku just dodged it and kept going to his seat, which irritated Bakugo. During class, Izuku paid attention to the lesson, and some students noticed that he wasn't taking notes, just paying attention to the teacher. Izuku, with his super intelligence, and also had a photographic memory, so there was no need to take notes. He already read all the textbook, but for things that the books didn't discuss, he paid attention to the lectures. We skip a little bit ahead as it's lunch times. Izuku is sitting by himself eating his lunch that his mom prepared for him when Bakugo and his goons come up to confront him. Hey, you think you're hot shit? Izuku looked up but didn't respond. I'm here to show you your place. He sets off a couple explosions in his hands. Izuku just continues to ignore him. This ticks off Bakugo, then he shoots an explosion at Izuku, which he dodges to the left. This, infuriating Bakugo even more, caused him to set off more and more explosions, which Izuku dodged. Bakugo kept getting angrier and angrier and made bigger explosions. And eventually, one of the explosions knocked Izuku's lunch out of his hand. This upset Izuku, and he declared to Bakugo, "Ha, that's what you get. What's with that look? You want to fight? Bring it on." Bakugo didn't get to finish that sentence, as Izuku rushed him using his slow-mo and punched him in the stomach, knocking the air out of him. Bakugo was coughing off his lunch, and he looked up at Izuku, towering over him. What are you looking at, you dep? Again, Bakugo didn't finish that sentence. Izuku punched him in the face, knocking him out. Izuku then picks up his stuff and leaves for class while Bakugo gets taken to the infirmary and stays there for the rest of the day. No one said anything about what happened, so Izuku doesn't get into trouble. Izuku arrived at home, and Inko asks how was his first day, and Izuku answered it was fine. The next day at school, Izuku was sitting at his desk when Bakugo comes up and slams his hand on his desk. You bastard. You think you're so tough? You just caught me off guard. Try to fight me now. Izuku not wanting to deal with this right now, used his slow-mo, grabbed Bakugo's hand, twisted his arm, and then slammed his head on the desk, breaking his nose. and then he slumped to the ground. The teacher walked in, seeing Bakugo bloody and on the ground, demanded to know what happened. Bakugo's lackeys or whatever tried to shift the blame on Izuku, but the rest of the class tells what really happened. Izuku and Bakugo's parents are called to the school. The teacher explained the whole incident. I'm sorry, but this type of behavior is unacceptable. Both students will have a month's detention. Bakugo protests while Izuku just stays quiet. Hisashi then says, I do agree that their behavior was unacceptable, but I don't believe my son deserves the same punishment. He was clearly defending himself. That may have been the case the first time, but this time Izuku was attacked first. Inko, so it would have been fine if the other student attacked first. Remember, Izuku, next time let them attack you first, and then defend yourself. Izuku nodded. Mitsuki just laughed. Oh man, that's funny. I'm fine with it. If my idiot son is stupid enough to get... Okay, sorry. Mitsuki just laughed. Oh man, that's funny. I'm fine with that. If my idiot son is stupid enough to attack first and get his ass kicked, then he should learn to stop picking fights. Bakugo just got angry. Damn you, old hag. Mitsuki just hits Bakugo over the head. Teacher was just surprised by the parents' behavior, and it explained a lot. As they left, Inko and Mitsuki talked, reminiscing with each other. They haven't seen each other since Inko got married, and they promised they would try to hang out more. The rest of Izuku's life in middle school went on. He became the top student with the best grades. He got the nickname Deku, meaning he could do anything. He was very popular, and many girls wanted to go out with him. Izuku was interested in girls, but he had a certain type he liked, mainly someone like Inko, kind and caring, but also strong. Because of this, he developed crushes on some female heroes. Now, we time skip to the beginning of the anime. The teacher asks what the kids want to do in the future. All the students say they want to be heroes. The teacher tried to get the students say that they want to be heroes and throw the papers into the air. The teacher tried to get the classroom to calm down when Bakugo spoke up. Hey, teach, don't lock me up with these losers. I'm going to be the next #1 heroes. They're lucky if they get to be a sidekick to some B-lister. The class protested Bakugo's statement. The teacher sighed. Yes, Bakugo, we are aware that you have good grades and are applying to UA. Then the class started whispering about how hard it was to get into UA. They couldn't believe Bakugo was actually applying there. Then the teacher picked up Izuku's form. Izuku, it says you're going to the military academy and that UA is your second choice? Everyone heard that and was surprised. Izuku could easily get into UA. Why not take the opportunity, they thought. Izuku was... Okay. The class was over and Izuku was getting ready to leave, but was confronted by Bakugo. It's a good thing you decided not to go to UA. It's the only place worthy of me, and you don't belong there. Deku just looked at Bakugo unimpressed. This, again, ticking Bakugo off, he throws an explosion. Deku dodges, twists Bakugo's arm, breaking it, then slamming his face on the wall, breaking his nose again. He never learns. Izuku then left school, walking under the bridge where he started having a hallucination. He sees the same little girl again as she was standing at the end of the tunnel, in a red dress. As the shadows around her begin to move, the shadows turn into hands. They grow to grab Izuku. But Izuku then suddenly snapped out of it by the sound of a manhole cover hitting the ground. He then gets attacked by the sled villain. Hey kid, give me your body! Izuku manages to dodge the initial attack and roll out of the way. Izuku keeps his distance but is slowly getting overwhelmed by the unpredictable attacks of the sled villain. Luckily, All Might arrives, gets Deku out of danger and then throws a smash and captures the sled villain. Hello, young man. I'm impressed you're able to fight off this villain. What's your quirk? Izuku telepathically answers, which surprises All Might. Ah, I guess that makes sense. You read the villain's mind and you're able to dodge his attacks. Izuku just nodded and All Might jumped away, taking the villain to jail. Izuku arrives home and is greeted by his parents. They ask about his day, and Deku explained what happened on his way home, the vision, and then getting attacked. They weren't so much worried about the villain attack, they were more concerned. They knew that Deku could take care of himself. Their only concern was the vision of the girl. Over the years, Izuku has described his visions with the psychologists, and this girl seems to be the most of them. And something else. A monster that chases him and F.E.A.R as they try to reach each other. They had people with psychic quirk read Izuku's mind, but most were hurt in process or they couldn't even read his mind. A few hours later, after lunch, they were visited by Nezu. He came to ask Izuku a question. Izuku, would you be interested in coming to UA on recommendation? Izuku declined the offer, saying that he was going to the military once he was old enough. This surprised Nezu and his parents. His parents asked why, and Izuku explained that he wanted to be like them. His parents just hugged him. Inko. Izuku, you don't have to be in the military to be like us. We just want you to be happy. She's right, son. The reason we went to the military is because our quirks were not strong enough to be heroes. But you have the opportunity to save lives rather than taking them. And that's all we want for you. Izuku just started to cry as his parents continued to hug him. Izuku agreed that he would go to UA, but he's not going on recommendation. He's going to go in like every other student. Next chapter, entrance exam. For the next 10 months, Izuku trained for the entrance exam with his family. He learned tactics and leadership from his dad and grandpa, medical knowledge from his mom. His uncle Spencer tried to teach him how to be cool and showed him some good marksmanship. Douglas taught him proper etiquette, as well as some martial arts. Rowdy taught him how to. Rowdy taught him how to. Rowdy taught him about computer programming and some hacking skills. After 10 months, Izuku was more than ready for the exam. Izuku stood at the front of the UA gate and was impressed with the size of the place. Before entering, he bumped into Bakugo, but he just ignored him. He then walked away to take his exam. He takes his test and gets a perfect score with a super fast, impressing UA staff. During the explanation for the practical test, Izuku quietly pays attention, then Ida makes an ass of himself, interrupting Mike. Izuku took a mental note about Ida, thinking the guy is a control freak and would probably be annoying to work with. Izuku made his way to the battleground wearing a military fatigues and some body armor. Many students looked at Izuku thinking he was weird. Why was he dressed like he was going to play some airsoft? Izuku was going to walk to the front of the line when he was stopped by Ida. You shouldn't bother her. You might distract her and ruin her chances of getting into UA. Izuku just ignored Ida and continued walking. Ida placed his hand on Izuku again, but before he realized, he was flipped over Izuku's shoulders, hitting his back on the concrete. Izuku walked away to the front of the line and waited. Meanwhile, Ida was trying to get the license plate of the truck that hit him. The test started, and Izuku made quick work of robots. Okay. Mike just announced that everyone to get ready, steady, go, that there's no countdowns to the real test, and everyone started running. Izuku made quick work of the robots, gaining points fast. The UA staff was impressed by Izuku. He was showing his skills very well. Minna thought the boy was kind of cute, and many of the other teachers wondered what this kid's quirk was. They all looked at his file and it said classified. All Might then spoke up. Nezu, what is the meaning of this? All Might, having met the boy, was pretty sure he had a telepath quirk. I'm sorry, but I'm unable to give out sensitive information about that particular student. The teachers understood. If Nezu was not allowed to speak about it, then it must be for a very good reason. Then the Zero Pointer was unleashed, and Izuku was about to run away when he heard the girl screaming for help, it being Ochako. Izuku went over and got the robot off her, then picked her up and carried her to safety. Time ran out, and the test was over. Izuku put her Araka down and examined her leg, giving her first aid. Izuku telepathically talked to her. You have a minor sprain that should heal up in a few days. Raka was surprised to hear a voice in her head. She asked his name, in which he told her, Izuku Midoriya. Recovery Girl, Recovery Girl came and healed Uraraka. She thanked the young man for providing first aid. Izuku nodded in acknowledgement and then left. Many students were impressed with what they saw Midoriya do during the exam. All Might was watching till the very end, thinking this young man might be the successor he was looking for. A few days after, Izuku received a acceptance letter from UA, showing he got the top score. Izuku managed to score with enough points, breaking All Might's record. He then shared the news with his family, and they were so proud of him. Okay, guys, this is it for part 3. Like, comment, subscribe if you want more, and I'll try to get the next video up with the help of my editor, Helgas. And thank you. Goodbye.